Hi, I'm Donna Pearson from the National Research Center for Career and Technical Education, and it's my pleasure to present to you this series of videos on Math-in-CTE. We receive requests daily from teachers and administrators around the country wanting to know how the Math-in-CTE model works in real classrooms with real teachers. And these 3 videos that we are presenting offer you the opportunity to see a variety of teachers teaching a variety of CTE content using the Math-in-CTE model. If you haven't already done so, you might want to take a look at the materials that are on our website at NRCCTE.org, and you might also want to view the fuller video on the Math-in-CTE model. Essentially, the 7 elements offers the teacher a framework by which to develop a lesson and to teach a lesson, and this framework in its 7 elements offers an opportunity for a transfer of learning from the math that's embedded naturally in CTE to the explicit mathematics. And in this way, students are able to understand mathematics and learn it contextually. In each of these lessons, the instructors have used a 7-element lesson plan to guide their instruction. However, I'm going to point out and highlight the elements that they have used particularly effectively for these demonstrations. I hope you enjoy the videos. The video that you're going to observe this time is in the field of culinary arts. And here you will see Ms. Carleton at Breithaupt Career Center begin to talk to her students about the importance of guess checks. And in doing so, she's able to instruct basic mathematics and the use of decimals. This is the kind of mathematics that a lot of students don't know when they arrive in high school. And in the culinary world, it's essential to understand how to count change and make sure that the change drawer is in order. This is demonstrated by Ms. Carleton as she begins the lesson.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's lesson is going to be on the duties of a cashier in a food service establishment. Now, you've gone out into the public before where you've paid for things and people have just handed you the change. We've even talked about this before. You can just take the change and put it in your pocket. You don't count it, they don't count it out to you, you don't really know what they've given you. That is a way that you can actually end up cheating yourself by not determining if they've given you the proper change. It's very easy for someone to make a mistake when they're counting out change. Even nowadays where everything is computerized, and when you make a purchase and give the cashier the money, the amount of the change is going to end up on top of the screen. It's very easy for them to make a mistake when they're pulling it out of the drawer, and when they do that, they can cheat you. Or they can cheat themselves by having their bank at the end of their shifts be short. All right, we have been working with decimals all through the semester, so that part of this lesson should be very easy for you. Part of it should be a repeat for you. But now we're putting the pieces together for the functions of a cashier. If you were to go to a store or a restaurant, and let's say you purchased something and you paid $15.67 for it. You handed the cashier a 20. They handed you their change, they gave you $3.36. Is that the right amount of change? No. But they just handed it to you, you just put it in your pocket, so you've really got no way of determining or going back and saying, I think you cheated me. It used to be before computers that people would have to count out the change. They would start with the amount you spent and count up to the amount that you gave them. They would start at $15.63 and count up until they got to the $20 that they needed to give to you for their change. And that's something that we're going to start practicing on today. So one of the first things we're going to do is we're going to do a little practice with decimals. I'm giving you guys each 2 sheets. I just want you to do the first 4 problems on these sheets, which is handling money, no calculators. So the first 4 problems on each sheet of paper, and that is adding and subtracting decimals. All right, we're going to run through one more of these just to make sure. And this time, Javante, as much as I value your input, we're going to let somebody else give it a shot. Okay, your bill comes to $27.63. You hand them 2 $20 bills. So you hand them $40. As a cashier, what's the first thing you're going to give them? Jamar, 2 pennies. Okay, you're going to give them 2 pennies. So this is now $27.65. What's next? A nickel, or think about it, you're rounding up to the next coin. A dime. 1 dime. Now you got $27.75. Now, right, Devin, you're going to give them a quarter. So now you're up to $28. $2 is going to bring you to 30. Oh. $2 is going to bring you to 30. Yep. And you can just give them a 10, which is going to bring you to the $40. That's going to bring you up to the $40. And if you count it out, there'll be no question with them, no question with you as to how it's going to be done. Anybody have any questions about this? Anybody not understand what we're doing? Tell us now, because I got a worksheet I need you guys to complete on this. Anyone unclear as to how we're doing this? You got it?
Yeah, I have it, but we're doing this to show the customers that we're not cheating them.
And you're also doing this as a customer to show that you're not being cheated. But what? Are you saying that the computer does it anyway?
No, I'm just saying this is just too much. You can just do it the regular way.
What's the regular way? Show me how you would regularly do it.
Just solve it out.
Just solve it out? You mean subtract this from this and then hand them their change?
Yeah, it's the same thing, but you just doing it more the long way. Yeah, the long way.
Okay. As I explained just a few minutes ago, when you're dealing with the cash in front of you, let me use one of these cash trays as an example. Okay, using this same problem. All right, I got a cash tray in front of me. I want to do 27.63 to 40. I'm going to do 27, 28, 29, or I'm sorry, 63, 64, 65, 75, and $1. Okay, 28. Then I'm going to pull out 2 singles. So that gives me 30. And then I'm going to pull out a 10. See how fast that is? Okay? That is why we're doing this, because when you actually see it done with money, you can see how quickly that can be done, just counting up. Whereas if you did it the regular way, you would be sitting here figuring out the problem in your head and then counting it out. Now you don't even have to figure out the problem in your head because you're counting it out as you're going. All right, that's why we're doing it this way. You're counting it out as you're going. Anybody else have any other questions? All right. I know it seems like math is not a lot of fun, But once you start dealing with money, especially if it's yours, it's going to get to be more fun. All right? People should practice counting money because you got to realize that that puts you on the spot with everybody. I think I've told you this before, but if you're working a cash register and you run out of pennies, you can tell someone, I'm sorry, I'm short a penny. They might get upset with you because you're shorting them their money. But that same person is not going to stoop down to pick up a penny on the street that they find. Okay, because that's not theirs. But if you short them a penny, that person is going to say, well then, you know, what can you do? I'll wait for my penny. I've had people wait while we go and get change to get that extra penny, and then you see them and they won't even pick up a penny on the ground because it's not worth that much to them because it's not theirs. But don't you dare short me or cheat me out of my penny. That's the way people feel about money. It's weird, it's funny, but when it's yours, you're probably going to start feeling the same way. Now, the next part of this lesson that we're going to get into, we're going to have you guys be cashiers, and I'm going to partner you up. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. I need 4 groups of 2 and 1 group of 3. Now, what you're going to do is I'm going to give each of you a bank. All right? I'm giving each of you a bank with some money in it. I'm also giving you, ladies, I'm also giving you a count sheet to fill out. What I'm passing out right now is a count sheet. This is very similar to a sheet that you are going to have if you are cashiering somewhere. Every business I've ever seen has these type of count sheets. It's so that you, as an employee, know how much money you have to start, and also at the end of the shift, it's a written record of your deposit. You'll notice that there are 2 columns. One says amount. The other one says cash value. Do not fill in the cash value. I want you to count what's in your drawer. And under amount, if you count your pennies and you have 12 pennies, write 12. If you have 15 nickels, write 15. That's all I want you to do right now is to count your bank. Once you get all of your amounts filled in, carry it over. All right? So if you have 25 quarters, what does that work out to dollar amount? You're going to total this up, and then this total amount here goes to this column, minus your beginning bank of 150, which goes here, and then your deposit for the day is going to be this amount here. Okay? So that's how you determine how much cash you made for that day. Each of you is going to take turns being the customer and then the cashier. I am handing the customer a guest check plus the money that they're going to pay for it, and I want the cashier to count the money back to them the same way that we did it on the board. This is putting what we did on the board into action. Like with this guest check, it's for $17.65. I'm giving it to Devin, who is the first customer. He is going to hand his check and his money to Jamar, who's the cashier. You're going to hand that to Jamar. Now he's going to count the change back to you the same way we did it, starting with the pennies, working up. Never put the money away first. This is just a little something. Always set your money aside so that your customer cannot claim he gave you something other than what he gave you. So start, your check is how much? Okay, start counting it up for Devin in his hand. Nope, 65, what does that make it? Okay. Now, should you have handed him a nickel or a dime? If the change is 65, you hand him a dime. How much have you got? Okay. And now what does that make it? Okay, so what's next? $3 or $2? $2. First off, you gave him a dime, which turned 65 into 75. You gave him a quarter, which turned 17 into 18. And then $2 in change after that. All right? So you're the first customer. There's your guest check and there's your change. As the cashier, you're going to hand the cashier your guest check and then your money. The reason we're doing this is because in our next lesson, some of you are going to be chosen as storekeepers, some of you are going to be chosen as customers. And you will have your own store, you will count out your own change, and at the end of the event, you will be evaluated on how well your bank comes out and how well the money that you as a customer comes out in comparison with your change.
What you've seen in this brief video is a demonstration of the importance of allowing students to practice what they've just learned. It's often new to them, and in this particular lesson, in Element 4, 5, and 6, students were allowed to demonstrate what they know and are able to do in regard to decimals and the basic mathematic understanding. Although this is basic mathematics, it is the kind of mathematics that a lot of students who arrive in high school do not understand, and therefore this kind of lesson is important to a CTE classroom. I would like to thank you for your interest in Math and CTE. If you have more questions, we invite you to visit our website at nrccte.org. Thank you.